Yerp, this is Perp back with another video, and I just got done watching You Season 4 Part 1. This is only 5 episodes of a 10 season thing, whatever, so I'm gonna have to wait until next month for Part 2. Just want to give you my first impressions of this first part in this new season. Some complaints I've had. Some things that I like, some things I'm just like, I don't know where this is all going to lead. But yeah, everybody's favorite serial killer is back. Joe is back in a whole new scenario. He has faked his death. Now he's over here, overseas, causing more trouble. And my whole thing about season 4 is I was kind of looking forward to it, but now watching it, I just don't know how I feel about the direction as far as Joe following Marion to this spot, which doesn't really make sense, but it does make sense because he is a stalker, first and foremost. But he also tries to keep going down this redemption like storyline, or he's always trying to get better as a person but never really does. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, just a new location. Same old Joe, new location. And his past has also followed him here. I don't know where they're gonna go with this whole assassin, that knows that Joe is still alive. He's going under a completely different name. He's a teacher now. And we got a whole bunch of new characters that I do not like at all. That's one of my negatives of this season. But essentially, Joe gets thrown into a new situation where he's trying to prove to, I think her name is like Marianne, that he's not this monster, which does not make sense at all. It's like, this chick knows that you're up to something, knows that you probably killed love, and you're sitting there trying to show her, like, I'm not this person, which I have no idea where that whole storyline is going to go, because, it's not really clear by the end of this first part, because it definitely goes a lot of different places, some things that I don't really like. So we get introduced to a bunch of new characters, like I said, that are kind of like these rich kids or come from money. And I don't like any of them. Like I said, I don't like any of them. I don't find them intriguing at all. It starts off where Joe's trying to live a normal life, but then again, another body pops up in his life and he has to start all over again. So somebody is following Joe this time. Somebody is taking a page out of his book. And this is where Joe starts to become like a detective in this season. More of a killer. Even though he does kill people, it's very far in between compared to previous seasons. Anyways, he ends up falling for a new love interest that goes by the name of Kate. She is the, I guess, widow, I would assume, or the girlfriend that was the body that was found in this house. So he does the Joe thing and gets close to her, not knowing if he could really trust her, or if, like, she is the person that has been following Joe, has been texting him throughout this first part. And I had my assumptions too. I still don't trust her because she looks exactly like Love, and maybe that's why Joe was kind of drawn to her. Out of all the new characters, I found her to be the most interesting. But then where it goes with this whole eat rich killer, that stuff was just, I don't know where, like Rice's character, I don't know where that is all going. That kind of lost me and kind of just went over my head. I was just like, why do I care about this? So yeah, you just got a murder mystery whodunit in this first part. Joe finds out, well, doesn't really find out, but he ends up finding out who's behind all of this, and I just don't know if I even care about what's going on so far. to me, I feel like this series has at least one more season. I want them to kind of tie everything back to Love. I was hoping that Love was got like maybe alive, or somebody in her family was kind of pulling the strings. Maybe her father will come back into play with things. Maybe Marianne is like planning something behind the scenes. I have no idea. The whole intrigue of this season, though, or this series, I should say, is if Joe's ever going to get caught, or does Joe have any type of kindness in his heart to not be this monster. I don't know. Even though he keeps getting blood on his hands, so it doesn't make him, innocent. Also, I'm wondering if that whole bodyguard, that assassin thing, when he killed that person, will ever pop back up. I have no idea. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are left open for interpretation. I just don't know if I am vibing with this season so far. I don't like any of the new characters. Aside from Kate, it's just Joe's motives. Like, he makes it sound really smart. He's a very smart person, but he's also pretty dumb. He starts to do the same thing over and over again, just with different people. And it just gets more and more messier. To the point where it's like he has to be at the end of his ropes. He can't keep running. I would have just got out of the location he was at and just completely got away from this situation. Just moved to another location again. And it's just like he puts himself in these situations, these scenarios, with these individuals, falling in love with certain chicks that he's not supposed to fall in love with. Like, he goes from falling in love with Love, knowing that was a red flag, having a kid with Love, leaving his whole entire son, which I'm wondering if they're going to do like a time skip in season 5 where the son might get revenge or something like that. I don't know. It'll be a little ridiculous, but this whole show is pretty ridiculous within itself. Very not believable. It's definitely like more fantasy now, because like I really like the tone of the first 3 seasons compared to this one. This doesn't really... I just feel like we're just doing the same stuff, but a little worse, in my opinion. I have to see part 2 to kind of see how this is all going to kind of come together. Right now, I'm just not really sold on the direction of this season. If you are, let me know your thoughts on this first part. Are you excited for part 2? Or are you kind of checked out after watching this season and you just kind of over just Joe and his shenanigans and stuff like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out.